Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Okay, so if you're an expat, an international professional, or really just someone trying to navigate the, let's face it, highly confusing waters of the German job market, you are absolutely in the right place. We all know the shared frustration of hunting for that perfect role, deciphering job descriptions, dealing with the legendary German bureaucracy, and trying to figure out what local companies actually want from you. Well, today we're tackling a massive topic that just keeps popping up for job seekers here in Germany, and we're going to break the whole thing down. Let's be totally honest for a second. If you've spent any time at all scrolling through job boards in Germany, whether you're looking in business, logistics, HR, finance, you name it, you have definitely stared at a posting and seen those super intimidating words, SAP experience preferred, or even worse, SAP knowledge required. I just want to validate your experience right now, because it is incredibly common to stare at those requirements and think, what on earth is this mysterious software? And am I completely disqualified before I even hit apply? Now, what's really interesting about this slide is this staggering number right here, over 49,000. That's the number of open jobs in Germany right now that actively mention SAP in their requirements, based on recent search data. I mean, from junior consultants in Aachen to logistics coordinators in Berlin, companies are literally desperate for people with these skills. It creates this instant urgency if you want to be competitive, because it's not just some niche IT skill anymore. It is a foundational requirement across thousands of open roles. So let's get right into section 1. What is SAP exactly? Let's decode some of that corporate jargon. All right, starting with the absolute basics. SAP stands for Systems, Applications, and Products in Data Processing. Yeah, it's a really dry, long-winded mouthful, which is exactly why literally everyone just uses the acronym. But at its core, SAP is just a massive, comprehensive software platform. It's what's known as an enterprise resource planning system, which basically means it's used by companies to manage pretty much everything under their roof. We're talking about connecting their accounting, human resources, supply chain, sales, all of it flowing through one giant central system. To really get SAP, you have to understand its massive home field advantage here in Germany. This isn't just some random piece of software. It is a huge local success story. It was founded way back in 1972 by just 5 entrepreneurial programmers right here in Germany. And fast forward to today, it has exploded into a global powerhouse with 110,000 employees spread across 157 countries. For the 2025 financial year, they reported a mind-blowing 36.8 billion euros in revenue, and they have over 300 million cloud subscribers. So when you're applying to a German company, you're usually applying to an environment that grew up right alongside this exact software. And this brilliantly illustrates how you should think about it. SAP is basically the nervous system of a large company. Just like your body's nervous system connects your brain to your fingers so they work together, SAP connects the warehouse to the finance department so they can communicate seamlessly. Think about it. If a salesperson sells a product, the software instantly tells the warehouse to pack it, tells the accounting team to send a bill, and tells the supply chain folks to order more raw materials. It's the central hub that controls and connects the whole shebang. Moving on to section 2, modules for your career. We're going to match the tech to your actual job. Okay. Let's decode some of this alphabet soup, because SAP is divided into highly specific modules. If you work in accounting and finance, you're going to want to look out for the FI module, which stands for financial accounting. Now, if your background is supply chain or logistics, you're looking at the MM module, materials management. There's actually a huge demand right now for SAP MM analysts in places like Munich, for example. Sales and customer service pros, you guys use SD, or sales and distribution. And if you're in people management, your focus is HR, like an open role we just saw for a data analyst HR in Cologne. Basically, the software has a specific slice that matches your profession. Now, if you're feeling a little overwhelmed right now, just take a deep breath. You do not need to learn it all. Just pick your field. You absolutely do not need to master the entire nervous system of the company. A finance professional doesn't need to know the first thing about the warehouse management module, and an HR recruiter doesn't need to touch the financial accounting software. See, that significantly lowers the barrier to entry. You really just need to focus on the one piece of the puzzle that actually applies to your career. Okay, let's dive into this next part. Section 3, how to learn SAP. We'll look at both free and paid paths to mastery. Conquering this whole job requirement thing is actually a pretty straightforward 3-step journey. Step 1, like we just talked about, is simply picking your specific module based on what you do.
Step 2 is getting your feet wet by taking some free beginner courses online, just to understand the interface and the terminology. And then step 3, when you're actually ready to make a serious investment in your professional profile, is to go out and get an official certification.
Let's zoom in on step 2 first, because you can actually start upskilling today completely for free. The company itself provides some amazing resources. If you're a beginner, OpenSAP.com is a fantastic place to start, and the SAP Learning Hub even has a free tier that's packed with content. You can take highly specific introductory courses. Like if you're in supply chain, check out a beginner course called Discovering Procurement Solutions. It literally only takes 56 minutes. Or if you're in HR, look for Explore SAP Success Factors. You can start building up that baseline knowledge right now without spending a single euro. Then, once you've got the basics down, you might want to look into a few paid options to give your CV a really serious competitive edge. Having an official SAP certification is hugely respected by German employers. You can get certified in very specific areas like SAP S/4 HANA Cloud Private Edition Financial Accounting or Sourcing and Procurement. These paid paths often hook you up with full SAP Learning Hub subscriptions where you get live instructor sessions. But crucially, you also get access to hands-on practice systems, meaning you can actually play around with the software in a simulated environment. Which brings us to section 4, do you really need it? Let's get into some realistic advice for job seekers. So to help you prioritize your time, you really need to figure out if SAP is a need-to-have or just a nice-to-have for your specific target industry. If you want to work in traditional German manufacturing, logistics, corporate consulting, or finance, yeah, it's increasingly a need-to-have. The big, established players run entirely on this system. But if you're targeting early-stage startups, creative agencies, or maybe certain tech sectors outside of enterprise software, it definitely falls more into the nice-to-have, or sometimes even not needed category. So be smart and target your learning based on the actual companies you want to work for.
So the crucial point here is this. Having even basic familiarity puts you ahead of most other applicants. Seriously, even if a job posting says SAP preferred, taking that free 56-minute intro course so you can confidently chat about it in an interview shows immense initiative. In a super competitive German job market, showing them that you at least understand the nervous system of their business gives you a massive advantage over the candidate who doesn't even know what the letters SAP stand for.
Let's move to our final section and see how this all builds together. Section 5. Final verdict and next steps. Here's your action plan. Your very first next step is updating that resume. Once you've knocked out those free courses and added those shiny new skills to your profile, you need to make absolutely sure your resume is formatted in a way that German hiring managers actually expect. Check the description down below for our related explainer on how to write a German-style CV. And while you're down there, please make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss out on more honest, direct tips about living, working, and succeeding as an expat in Germany. Finally, I want to leave you with this question to kickstart your journey. Which SAP module are you going to learn to conquer the German job market? Are you diving into HR, logistics, maybe finance? Let us know in the comments. Pick your field, go take that first free course, and stop letting that one job requirement intimidate you. You've completely got this. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I will see you next time.